Hey, guys. This is Sean DeGray. Nobody knows who that is, but it's me.
And you are listening to
The Gritty Bowmen.
It's all in perspective, right? If you could make $150,000 a year, but you had to work 80 hours a week and you were committed to a corporation that you hated what you did, is that more lucrative than making $70,000 a year doing what you love with a lot of free time? And who's richer?
One of the things I never want to say, and I even think this with life, is I never want to say, like, what if? Like, what? I hate that. I hate that feeling. What if I would have done this? Or what if I would have just tried this? Or what if? What if? And there's very few things that I say what if about. Very few things. And that gives me a lot of peace of mind. So that helps give me drive, because I don't want to ever say what if.
Randy always says this, you're going to run out of health before you run out of money.
Don't cry or anything.
I can't promise that.
Yeah.
No, I only do that in private.
Yeah.
I on the other
what's
hand,
called a heart of gold.
Is that what it is?
Cold-hearted.
a heart of gold. Wait, no.
Sort of like
I don't
Snyder.
have that. Wait.
like
Cold-hearted. I don't know.
No.
Something like this.
I'm a cold-hearted snake.
Well, the Accubow is kind of like a training tool for archers. It's really incredible because it's got an adjustable draw weight from 10 to 70 pounds. You can adjust the draw length.
So this isn't just about the Accubow.
The Team Carone Foundation is not helping Rick personally. It's helping other people who are struggling.
Primarily children.
Okay, here we go. All right, folks, welcome to the Gritty Bowmen podcast. We are in Indianapolis, Indiana at the ATA Trade Show, and I'm here with three lovely ladies. In fact, I met Kristy before I met you two.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, we have a history.
We do.
A production history together.
Oh.
We make private feature films together.
That's right.
You might want to clarify that.
Starting.
Yeah, so I'm here with Kristy Titus, Jules McQueen, and Jana Waller, and Kristy and I did the Full Draw film school together.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Crushed it because we had him editing. And
Oh,
nice.
I remember
he won
Kristy.
MVP.
Kristy
Nice.
wrote her newsletter, which she's like stellar at, and she wrote in her newsletter that I was a good video editor, and it really meant a lot to me, especially at the time. And Josh Keller was in our group, which you guys met last night,
Right.
and Josh
He
just
was
says
my
things,
husband.
yeah, right,
Nice.
which his wife wasn't too happy about, but we were filming for certain
Right. It was a
things.
mock-up.
Yes.
Mock-up. Right.
But yeah, it was a really cool experience, and
Was.
yeah, I had a blast.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to fix your microphone.
Oh, there
Whoa.
There she
I think
is.
you're supposed to put it there.
So,
I've been doing this wrong. This is my first time.
and you guys are
I
like,
don't normally do this.
you three are tight,
Yes.
buddies,
Yeah.
Very much so.
and
Yeah.
it's pretty neat to see.
Yeah.
We just got done covering the Accubow challenge,
Right.
and one of you guys, tell folks that are listening what that is.
Go ahead, Kristy.
Well, the Accubow is kind of like a training tool for archers. It's really incredible because it's got an adjustable draw weight from 10 to 70 pounds. You can adjust the draw length as well for the Accubow. So different statures of shooters, but basically it just allows you to practice archery year-round in any condition. You can be in the gym. You can be, like right now, I've got 3 feet of snow at home, and so we can practice drawing. And it's ambidextrous, so you can train with both arms.
And you can increase the poundage.
Exactly. So new shooters that are looking to maybe go, like Oregon, for instance, is 50 pounds for legal
Yes.
elk. So if you're shooting 35 pounds or 40 pounds, which is 40 pounds is legal for deer, but you want to work up to that 50 pounds for elk, then you can work and train with the Accubow and purchase that bow of your dreams that you have as your goal.
Yeah, that's a neat thing because not everyone can draw the weight needed.
Right.
Or let's say a guy just wants to, or gal wants to go up, maybe their max is 60 pounds and that's a bit of a pull.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I'd like to be able to pull 70 really easily.
Right.
They can train with that and get there without having to adjust the poundage on their bow and all of that kind of
And
stuff.
the nice thing about it, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was just going to say, you can also dry fire it. So your release
Yeah.
techniques and target panic is a
Comes
big
with
thing.
a laser sight, so
Yeah.
you can be really watch that laser on the wall.
Which,
and
by
target
the
acquisition.
way, Kristy crushed
She
it.
did.
She's
I tell you,
amazing.
stick of dynamite. Little stick of dynamite.
So the way that the competition went today is they just had these little dots hanging from a wire, little targets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had to draw and hold in the laser sight. You had to fix that and keep it on the target.
Right.
And whoever, it was like 2 inches, 1 inch.
Yeah,
target.
I don't know.
Tiny
It's
So
little
small.
so they paired us up against people who they were drawing names
out of a hat.
out of a
Yeah.
hat,
Or a
basically
box
a
or
box.
whatever, yeah.
And so they went up against us, and then you hold it on the thing, and it's harder than it looks.
It
Oh
is
yeah,
hard.
because you're
Surprisingly.
breathing. Just like archery,
Yeah.
you got your breathing.
Well,
People in
You're
the crowd are
excited.
I was
making
going to
you
say,
laugh.
you've got like 30, 50 people standing around watching you
Yeah.
like, do
I
this.
want to just point out she got the record for the longest
Yes.
hold. I got the record for the shortest hold. It was amazing. We're basically world record holders
We
right now.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Accubow world.
And she got
Two of
the
us
record
here
for the
winning.
cutest
Yeah.
ever.
Oh,
So,
yeah, right.
There you go.
I feel the whole thing, so I'm going to share that with folks that are following the podcast. So the Accubow, you've had it for a little while now.
Yeah, we all have
you gals,
one.
and
Yep.
you all have one. And what do you think?
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I like about it that I didn't think about before having one is, I always in the gym will use the band, right?
Yeah.
And hold back and feel the weight. But it doesn't work this arm at all. The Accubow, because it doesn't have let off,
Yeah.
really works your stable arm. And
Yeah.
especially with the laser sight, it really, you can play around with it, and see if you can hold it for a minute, 2 minutes. But
Yeah.
it really does build that stability arm way better than using just a band.
I
Right.
think when you draw a bow, generally you're focused on drawing and then getting the shot off.
Yeah.
Right? This kind of like encourages you to, it's almost like a game. It's fun to have
Yeah.
too, I think, and like challenge your buddy. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
keep it
yeah.
on there.
Yeah, and we really
Because
like.
I would beat Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, for
I
sure.
know
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not very strong.
No.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean,
seriously.
he thinks he like works
Poor
out or
guy.
something.
I know.
I just
Bless his heart.
I
Yeah.
Bless his little
Bless
heart.
his heart. But
we'll
when
get
you,
him in
And
the
tho-
gym one of these days.
And those tats actually rub
Seriously.
off. They're not
Yeah.
real.
They're not.
No.
He draws
Yeah.
them on with Sharpie every
Yeah,
morning.
exactly.
But when
So-
you draw that bow back, I noticed Kristy, you're like your form, your arm was all relaxed. You were like really in it,
I have no idea.
and
No idea.
I was watching some other people with their arms a little bit out and kind of,
Yeah.
you're not going to hold it as long, and there's this. It's
Yeah.
gonna like.
Well, here's
it's
the
gonna,
thing.
It's gonna if you're trying to hold for a long time, that's totally different than just pulling and shooting.
It's
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Because the better the form, the longer you should be able to hold.
Right.
Well, and
Yeah.
if you think about it, like I've had experiences where I've been successful on elk where I'm waiting or I'm in the wide open and they walk by, they go behind a tree and I come to full draw while their head is behind that tree and they might hang up there for a minute or
Right.
two.
Yeah.
And if you can't maintain that integrity of your form for that duration, when he steps out, if you have to break down, you're done. Game over. Bullet is busted and gone. So
That sounds really familiar.
yeah, I've had it work
Amen.
both ways, right? Work well and work not. So
I got
that's the
Aaron.
Accubows.
Aaron called a bull in for me this year after I spent weeks trying to help him get a bull with that with that great stick bow.
Yes, see, we watched that
This
live.
elk comes down and I don't know, man. I had it. I drove my bow back, but Aaron ordered me like this 80-pound bow.
Of course.
So yeah, of
Yeah.
course I can do. If he can do it, I can do
Oh
it.
yeah.
So, but it was a struggle, and I got the
Why
bow
stop
back.
at 80?
I'm kneeling
Really?
down. I'm at an angle, and my arm's starting to shake a little bit, so I let the bow down just for a sec. And that's right when the bull came
Yeah,
out.
step
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And had I just held just a little bit longer, I would have.
And
it
then
was
one
20
thing
yards.
people do with a bow when they're held for a long time is they break anchor.
Yeah.
And I have made that mistake. It's cost me animals where they like start looking.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Do not break your anchor.
Yep.
Stay on the bow because that moment can be very brief.
And the thing was, he was doing this and he was stopping and he's doing this and stopping. So I was like, he's got 4 more steps and he's been stopping and waiting after one. And then he just went boom, boom, boom. And now he's there. And I guess my pants were down. I was just had to
That's how South Cox hunts. So there might be something to that. I don't know if you guys follow him
it
or
was
not.
figurative. Although with South, it is
It
literal.
is literal.
So this isn't just about the Accubow, though.
Right.
No.
So they are partnering with or
Rick Carone.
Yes.
His Team Carone Foundation.
And so for folks who don't know that are living under a rock, tell them about Rick and the foundation.
Well, we all love Rick Carone.
Yes.
He's one of our just most amazing friends, and I think almost everyone in the industry knows
Is
him.
touched
Right?
by
If you
Rick
don't-
somehow.
Yep. And if you know Rick, you love Rick, and he's going through, a lot of hard times. And I know Kristy's really close
Yeah.
with them, and the Team Carone Foundation kind of represents what we all should be doing in this industry, coming together and helping other people.
Yeah.
And Rick has really hit the nail on the head with that one because, the Team Carone Foundation is not helping Rick personally. It's helping other people who are struggling.
Primarily children. So
Right.
Rick
Mostly
has
children.
stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he's been battling this. Year 1 he was diagnosed, and I said we have a 13% chance of living beyond year 1, and he has beat all the odds, and he's like year 4
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Incredible strength.
Incredibly
and
amazing.
He says
Yeah.
faith, family, and friends, right? So that's his triple threat of attack on cancer. He started the Team Carone Foundation to benefit kids going through cancer and illness because they don't have the strength that he has, and they may not have the faith foundation, or they're babies, they're little, and they don't have anybody. So he started this foundation to be their advocate, and he's got a scholarship fund for athletes, and it's really altruistic of him to try to give back and give people that are kind of in his spot that maybe aren't as tough as him and strong as him the strength to get through the battle.
So what Accubow is doing is for every Rick Carone signature series Accubow that they sell, they're donating $50 to the Team Carone Foundation.
Off every purchase,
Yeah.
every Rick Carone bow, the signature series,
Yep.
$50, that's pretty gracious.
It's amazing,
It's
yeah.
incredible.
And so just now over at the Accubow booth, what did we raise? $3,000. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just an incredible testament to what really happens in this industry a lot, where we all kind of come together and
Help each other.
Right.
out.
It
Well, and
is-
if you want to do the Team Carone bow, they give you the $50 to Rick Carone's foundation. However, they also give you a 10% discount right now. So
Yeah, so at checkout.
at checkout, you can use that code Team Carone and get a discount
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, I wanted people to know that if they get the Accubow, they'll get 10% off if they type in Team Carone.
Right.
And $50 of that Team Carone bow goes back to his foundation.
Right.
My wife got cancer right after Kristy and I finished film school. Like 5 months later, she was diagnosed, and so we went through that, and I saw the chemo and all that stuff firsthand, and what it does with families and stuff. And I felt like a single dad for a long time. And she had a good prognosis as she got through it, and she reacted really well to the chemotherapy. And Rick, and I have talked a few times and interacted quite a bit just because of that experience
Right.
that I had, and he's just been like a big teddy bear, like someone who really
He
Gets
loves
it.
cares
everybody.
about people.
Yeah, he gets it. Yeah.
And I think to be not very many people have to battle on a am I going to be around next month thing for so long, for 4 years. That's a long time, and I think it builds a certain character and perspective on life that a lot of us take for granted because we feel like we got the next 50 years or
Right.
whatever, and we're not cognizant of the fact that it could be all gone tomorrow, and so we don't live our lives like it could be all gone tomorrow. And Rick really has, and it's been an inspiration to follow him. So
Well, everybody's been touched in some way, shape, or form by cancer.
Right.
And we can all relate in some way to that struggle, and it makes it so much more powerful when he's created a community within our industry of love and support, and a place where people to kind of share in their triumphs and share in the struggles of life, and,
Yeah.
and really bound a community in a way that has never been done
Right.
before.
yeah, there's definitely like barriers that are crossed because of for a higher purpose. you know?
Right. Right. Look, like purpose we talked
Yeah.
about yesterday.
Yeah.
Exactly. So much using the platform that he has and then going through this personally to create a platform for all of us to come together in the benefit of each other's support, like you just said, and then standing up for the kids who may not have a voice and
Yeah.
might not have the fight in them.
It's awesome you guys did that, and I want to just encourage the Gritty Bowmen listeners to go out and get an Accubow, get it for your kids, get it for your wife, get it for yourself, and put in that code Team Carone and support the foundation and stuff that really matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies.
Thanks
for
you
coming
for
on the
having us.
podcast.
Anytime.
All right, stay gritty.
Think of all the topics we could do.
I know.
We need to do it again
we need
because
to dish dirt.
this
and
is too much. Of first
Right.
time.
I know.
Right.
I know. We
Right.
do. All right. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
We need to have like an Aaron dirt.
We do.
Dirt dishing.
That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
In 1907, only 41,000 elk remained in North America, and in 1950, only 12,000 pronghorn remained. Today, there are more than 1 million elk and 1.1 million pronghorn. Why? Because hunting is conservation. In 1937, hunters actually requested an 11% tax on guns, ammo, bows, and arrows to help fund conservation. That tax so far raised more than $8 billion for wildlife conservation. Altogether, hunters pay more than $1.6 billion a year for conservation programs. No one gives more. It's obvious that hunters care about animals, and yet we actively hunt and kill them. Many people cannot understand this dichotomy. How can we both care about animals and also kill them? It's a question that I challenge all of you to consider. Here is an excerpt from the Gritty Bowmen film, Alberta, with a quote from Fred Bear that describes my feelings on this subject. The first shot on this buck was fatal, and it cleanly pierced his vitals, but he didn't go down. I hate to see animals suffer, and when possible, I will always shoot them again if I have the opportunity. I have tremendous respect for this buck and his will to survive. He didn't go down easy, and I have mixed emotions about that. At times like this, I am reminded of a quote by Fred Bear, which somewhat describes my thoughts on this matter. Quote, I have always tempered my killing with respect for the game pursued. I see the animal not only as a target, but as a living creature with more freedom than I will ever have. I take that life if I can, with regret as well as joy, and with the sure knowledge that nature's way of fang and claw and starvation are a far crueler fate than I bestow. I do not hunt for the joy of killing, but for the joy of living, and the inexpressible pleasure of mingling my life, however briefly, with that of a wild creature that I respect, admire, and value. We can argue as much as we like, but the fact is, hunting is man's oldest and most successful try at life. Every human being is alive today because our ancestors hunted. So it's a relatively new phenomenon for people to regard hunting as a cruel and frivolous activity that has no worth outside of personal gratification for the hunter. The funny thing is, hunting has increased my appreciation for wild animals and wild places, not decreased it. And as I watch society lose its ties to wildlife and conservation, I feel my bond with nature grow ever stronger in direct correlation to my time spent hunting. I understand now more than ever that hunting is the greatest hope for creating the next generation of true conservationists. Never stop sharing your passion for hunting in the outdoors. Our wild animals and wild places depend on it. We thank Kifaru, Mountain Ops, Hoyt, Vortex, Phelps Game Calls, Black Eagle Arrows, and Crispy Boots for supporting the Gritty Bowmen. We love these companies and the people behind them. They truly make fantastic products. Please support them however you can. As always, good luck on your hunts and stay gritty.
This is Ty Stubblefield, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
Gritty Bowmen.
And thank you.
I hope.
I've only done this like 10 times now.
It's my first time.
I know. Which, we lost
Dwayne,
Comms,
everything.
bad comms.
He
you hit
cut
the
you
power
off 'cause
button?
you said
Gritty
it's my first
interrupted.
time.
My first time. Well, it usually takes people aback. They're like, really? You've never done this?
That's
I'm
when
like,
they cut the audio. You're like, this isn't believable anymore.
Check, check.
Sound
Hello.
check, mic
Hello.
check.
Hey, Titus, stop
Oh,
saying
hair check, hair
inappropriate
check.
things.
I know.
Quit swearing, Titus. Quit.
I'm done.
Now's that time to stop saying inappropriate things.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Actually, Aaron
Luck
says
with-
them all the time.
Well, he
Yeah.
has a different kind of card.
Persona?
It's like when you go to that restaurant where it's like a red card up for no food and green card up for adding
Right.
food. He's just always green card up.
Right.
You can just always just keep
Yeah.
piling it on.
That's
with
right.
him, you know.